Good afternoon, everyone. We want to thank you, parents, for coming out and joining us today. We know it's really hot outside, and this is kind of the middle of the day, but I'm sure that we, as well as your students, appreciate you coming out and supporting them. We want to recognize our Shark Tank teachers. Mr. Dunn is in the back with Sims taking pictures. Mr. Dudley is over here with Lindsay. And Ms. Lassiter, sitting in, blending in with the students actually, is from Tarrant. And each one of them have worked really hard with their students to prepare their presentations today. So without further ado, we are going to start with our first Lindsay group, Lindsay sixth grade group. When you come up to the table, just grab the mic, introduce yourself, your team name, and it's all up to you after that.
Hi Sharks, our team name is called the Dominators and we believe we'll solve the water problem that made over 60% of the youth and 1/3 of the students miss school because they're trying to get water for their family. 36 million girls in the world are not in school and 6 million of them are from Nigeria. That's why we invented the water wagon for many students who walk 3.7 miles 9 times just to get enough water for their family. So instead of walking 33.3 miles for water, students can just walk 3.7 miles once. Students will do this by putting the containers in the wagon so now they can have more time in the day to attend school.
Usually the method of carrying water is a bad thing for people's bodies in Africa. They get back problems and more serious injuries. Another problem is kids, especially girls, can't go to school because they have to get water. So we came up with something that carries water, and it is called the water wagon. It is a unique creation for carrying water from point A to point B. It is a durable and useful creation. We can also use to carry crops from the market to the farm, to the market to sell it.
So we created our water body out of bamboo and rope. We made our wheels out of recycled bicycle wheels and the axle of metal. We made the handles out of wood. It is large and it's strong and it's made out of natural materials and it comes in different sizes. It's $20 and it's easier to make than other water wagons. We made the wagons unique in that it's realized and customizable to fit the needs of more than students in Africa.
The water wagon can also be used for farmers in America for all the agriculture needs. For every water wagon sold in America, 5 water wagons and supplies will be donated to Africa for them to build their community. Do you have any questions?
Hello. I would like to know if you could tell me a little bit more about the materials that you decided to use for the wagon.
We use um,
We used bamboo and rope. We made our wheels out of recycled bicycle wheels and axles out of metal. We made the handles out of wood.
Why did you choose those materials?
Because they're common materials found in Africa.
How long do you think it would take to make one wagon?
About 3 hours or so.
So you guys said for every one wagon bought in America, it's $20, and Africa would get 5?
Yeah.
5, okay.
First of all, I want to say it's a very unique design for you all to come up with this. But my question is, how will you move the wagon? What source of energy do you need to move the wagon? Is it being pulled by an animal? Is it being pulled by a person? Is there an engine to pull the wagon?
It can be pulled by anything. Animal, person, a wagon, anything.
Thank you. You all did an excellent job. I have one more question. Could you tell us if you know roughly what the wagon weighs?
It uses metal,
It's okay if you don't.
it's about like, I don't know.
That's all right. That's okay. Thank you. Thanks. Y'all did a great job. Thank you so much.
All right, great job, Lindsay team. All right, we will go ahead and move on to the next team, the Sims 6th grade team.
Hi, my name is Coraine, and this is
Nariel.
and we are the CK Housing Group. We chose the Habitat for Africa Challenge,
Because it's very underdeveloped.
so we might just get rid of one problem. We looked at Mali's flood list, and there were about 770 houses destroyed on June 13th. And we want to prevent that in the next 4 years of our houses being built around the country of Africa.
In Africa, there are not many floods, but we made this to prevent them. And you might think, once your house is flooded, what might you do next? The still house will solve your problem. Like what Coraine said, we want to build this all over Africa. With these houses, we can make Africa just a little more safe and provide the country with great shelter and maybe all over the world. The house provides great shelter and it feels breezy and nice. The materials consist of bamboo, rock, clay, and wood.
We would appreciate if you would choose us to invest in the CK Housing Group. We wanted to make something different that would stand out from any other house.
Since there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world, we wanted to at least stop one problem, and that is flooding in Africa. Are there any questions?
Tell us about your house. Tell us how your house helps with flooding.
As you can see, these things right here are off. The stilts are, the house is away from the ground. You know, when your house is, okay. The house is away from the ground, so when water rises, water won't get into your house. Are there any more questions?
Do y'all have any idea with the materials about how much one house would cost to build? Just an estimate.
I don't think it should cost a lot of money because the houses prevents flooding and it's supposed to help you, and something that's supposed to help you shouldn't cost a lot of money.
All right, thank you. Good answer. Good answer.
Would you please tell us about the stairs that get into the house? Do they retract if there's a lot of water, or do they stay? Are they stationary?
They're stationary, they just stay. And since the wood is for the stairs, so wood is very stable, so we're pretty sure that it will stay like during the flood.
And what are the stilts going to be made out of?
Bamboo, because bamboo is flexible and sturdy at the same time.
One more question. Why did you choose clay, wood, and bamboo to build the house?
We thought, we wanted to choose materials that are native to America. Native to Africa, so it'd be easier to build.
Did I hear you say there was rock used as well? And if there is, will you tell us where you use that?
Well, so Mr. Dunn, he's right there. We were watching a video on how houses were made, and they use rock. I'm not really sure why, but maybe to make it more stable, they'll put rock like all on the sides and they put clay over there. So like when it rains or has any other natural disasters, it won't really like mess up the house as much.
I think that's all the questions we have. Y'all did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, Sims team.
And another thing, that was the only clay that was really available. Yeah, so you use what you have, right?
Thank you for the extra.
All right, and last for the 6th grade group, Tarrant. If you guys want to go ahead and come on up, grab your projects. Tarrant, 6th grade.
Basika Lumtu. I am Chamberlain Ukuchuku Joshua. Me too. The name of this team is Wanunuziwa Tirika, which is Swahili for the flow riders. We choose to bring the water to bring the water to the village challenge. At least 14 million women and 3 million children, mostly girls, in 24 sub-Saharan African countries travel long distances to collect water. Collecting water takes time. To get the water for drinking, bathing, cooking, and other household needs. Millions of women and girls spend hours every day traveling to water sources and waiting in line, carrying heavy loads, often several times a day. This heightens the vulnerability and puts them at carrying heavy loads often several times a day. This heightens and their vulnerability puts them at risk of sexual abuse and contributes to increased teenage pregnancy and child labor, high rates of school dropouts, and poor school performances. As you can see in the pictures, both animals and humans share most water available, and the water is dirty, contaminated, and full of bacteria that causes diseases and illness like diarrhea, cholera, dysentery, and typhoid. In Africa, more than 315,000 children die every year from diarrhea. Diseases caused by unsafe water. The lack of access to water is a matter of life and death. Research estimates the water-related illness kills more than African children under age 5 than HIV/AIDS, malaria and measles combined.
Recreate strong, well-built huts and replicate what a village or compound may look like. In rural village, families and extended families usually usually live together in an area called a compound.
The compound consists of several houses and open courtyards. The compound may be organized in a circle or back to back.
Then we brought water to the village so that the women and children would not have to make long walks and spend all day getting water. A solar-powered water wheel collects water from the water source, then dumps it into the collection hopper, which is connected to the pipeline that goes straight to the village. The water flows through the pipeline, is totally gravity-driven. The pipeline is installed at a 1-degree descending angle from the river. At the village, the water goes through a simple filtration process made up of layers of gravel, sand, and clean white cotton fabric, very similar to those made by the Tarrant 7th and 8th grade teams at last year's Shark Tank. The filtered water is dispensed and held in a covered holding tank until it is needed. When the village has enough water in the holding tank, only one villager will need to go to the river to close the hopper to stop sending water down the pipeline, but allows the water wheel to continue to rotate and circulate water.
The water wheel is made out of cross sticks, ton of hot glue, 2 gears, a small motor, and a solar panel. The pipeline is a series of connected drinking straws. The pretend African landscape was created using leaves, branches from outdoors, fake flowers, and moss, and the waterfall was constructed using modeling clay and hot glue. In real life, villagers would build the water wheel using bamboo tubes. The pipeline gear, motor, and solar panel will have to be imported from the U.S., where you cannot put a price on humanity. These items can be obtained for pennies on a dollar from the U.S. The U.S. recycled almost 7,000 tons of aluminum metals each year. The water pipeline can be made from 100% recycled products. You'll see another Tarrant presentation and their invention of a vehicle that can go over dry land and wetland to get cargo from the port of Beira and Musqueam and out to most rural villages.
This project is called Restoring Hope, one community at a time. This project improves several of the problems that rural compound residents face: stronger and better made huts, less time spent gathering water and making water cleaner and safer to use. Clean water also improves education, hunger, and health. When students are freed from gathering water, they return to class. Easy access to water leads to food security. With less crops lost, hunger is reduced, safe water, clean hands, healthy bodies is less time lost to sickness, and people can focus on lifting themselves out of poverty. Sharks, we trust that you will consider supporting our humanitarian project to build a community of strong, sturdy huts with the water wheel water pipeline to provide safe water and comfortable living conditions for the residents. Your support will help us restore hope, one community at a time. After all, would you prefer to drink this or this? Asante. Would you like to see how it works?
Yes.
Can you do that again? And while you're doing it, explain to us what you're doing. I know you use the flashlight as a source of the sun. Is that right? Okay. Kind of do it again and sort of describe to us as you're doing it what's happening.
So the sun will make the water wheel move, and then the water will go into the hopper, and it will go down, and it will filter out through the cup at the end.
Where does it end up? In the village? Okay.
Yes.
It's hard to see from here. We go look at it?
Yes.
So this is the water flow. So the water comes from there and here, and then it drops the water in here and it's then transported to the village. Gravity. This is the water source coming from the mountains, goes into the basin, that captures the water and it goes through the filtration system.
Do you have any more questions?
This is just fantastic, ingenious. And as you were doing your demonstration, I was thinking about an article I read in NPR, where in several villages in Africa, the water flows from upstream, downstream. And what happens if there is a war between tribes or certain communities, what happens, the person that lives upstream will poison the water. So the individuals that live in a community downstream will drink the water and die. And this is a unique way of preventing water to be poisoned. So you extract the water from the river, then it goes through a filtration process instead of the person going directly to the river to collect the water. I am just amazed that you didn't even think about water poisoning, but this is also a way of preventing water poisoning, and it's fantastic. Thank you so much for this.
I couldn't help but notice that you took a kind of a different approach. Instead of figuring out a way to make it easier for people to bring the water from the water source, you found a way for the water source to continue to the people without having to move. Was that an aha moment for you? I mean, can you tell us that you were intentional about that? What made you think, oh, this is so much more effective or efficient and just simply smarter and less human cost to get the water there? Can you tell us a little bit about your thinking as you got to that?
Well, we thought if they had to go to school, they shouldn't have to walk as further to go get water, because that would just take time out of their education. And yeah.
Great. Thank you for sharing, and thank you all so much.
Great job. If we could give all of the participants a round of applause from the 6th grade level. And as they begin to remove their project, we're going to go ahead on with the 7th grade team, and this time we're going to start with Sims Middle School first. So if you guys will go ahead and make your way up, grab your project, head on to the table.
Hello, my name is Maya. My company name is Make Me. The name of my product is Mud House. I have chosen the Habit for Africa Challenge. Let me tell you about my product. My house is made from materials found anywhere around Africa. I use mud and wood sticks to make the structure. Can I show it to you? I made this out of Model Magic, straw, and cardboard. The Model Magic is for mud, the straws are for wood, and the cardboard is for the ground. I think my design is different and unique because it shows that you can make anything out of everyday materials from Africa. And just to know, the roof, I only had this part because I removed the root part so you can see the base. Are there any questions?
So is the hut, will it just stay in one place? Could they move it?
Just one place.
How many people do you think could live in the hut?
It could be good for a good family there. About 4 maybe. 4.
I know you took the roof off so that we could see on the inside, but what would the roof be made out of?
The straw wood.
Straw? Is that what you said? Okay, good.
I wonder if you'd share with us just a little of your research that led you to your decision about this particular challenge and your design.
So, I chose the material, like what the material stands for, because the research I found is that there can be like brick walls that you can use for it, like bricks, but it costs a lot. So if you use like the everyday things like mud and wood, it wouldn't cost you anything, and still you can design it how you want it and stuff.
Thank you. That's just what I was looking for. And I don't think my colleagues have any further questions, so thank you very much. You did a great job.
All right, our next group will come from Tarrant.
Basi Kalumtu. I am Chamberlain Joshua Ukuchuku Mitu. And the name of this team is Toti Toti Mahi, which is Swahili for the water toters.
Hello, I am Dakari Lee.
I'm Isaiah Jones.
Jaden Barnes. Philip Bobbitt.
We have recreated the Julia Toti Mehi Yabega, which is Swahili for over-the-shoulder water tote. We chose to bring the water to the village challenge. In sub-Saharan Africa, 319 million people worry about where and how they'll get enough water. Most villages do not have immediate access to a water source. Therefore, their days revolve around walks back and forth to the water source. Residents typically use jerry cans and other rigid plastic containers to carry water an average of 3.5 miles a day. Depending on the size of the jerry can, it could weigh up to 44 pounds when full. Carrying that much weight repeatedly for long distances can have long-term negative health effects like spinal injury, head injury, or a lifetime of neck or back pain.
The challenge is to design an apparatus or device that will help women and or children carry more than one bucket, jug, etc. of water from their water source and back to their village safely. The over-the-water tote is simple but an extremely effective design. The part that rests on the shoulders is curved to fit comfortably on the shoulders. The pole that holds the water jugs is inserted into the rings and are on the raised posts. This takes the weight of the pole and the water off of the carrier's neck and back and distributes it across to the stronger parts of their shoulders. This will eliminate or substantially reduce the neck and back injuries. To build our model, we use layers of cardboard glued together and duct tape. 5 layers of cardboard were glued and sandwiched together to make this unit sturdy. In real life, the villagers can build the over-the-water shoulder tote using carved wood from trees and cut bamboo.
The over the shoulder water toti can be built entirely. Materials found around almost any village, wood and bamboo. If nails are not available, the parts can be assembled using vines wrapped around tightly.
Why is this a great humanitarian project? The earth is made up of about 71% water, so there is plenty to go around, and every human should have access to it. People should not have to worry about where and how they'll get enough water to cook, clean, bathe, and of course drink. To be able to carry more water on a single trip to the water source will not only reduce physical injury, but also reduce the amount of time spent each day gathering water. This will give the children time to focus on education and just being a kid. Sharks, we trust that when you are looking for future humanitarian projects, you would consider getting our over-the-shoulder water tote idea to a village or villages that can benefit from it. Asante, thank you.
I will demonstrate now. What we will demonstrate now. So this part right here will be made of bamboo because it is flexible and sturdy at the same time. And this part well here will be made of cut wood because, well, yeah, it'll be made of cut wood because it holds a good base. Kuwana, Kuwanama Soli Yayate. Are there any questions?
I'm learning some Swahili today. Well, thank you so much. That's also great design. I like the demonstration, but in addition to that, actually, I was also thinking about one person depends on the weight of the water. You could potentially put a water bucket in the middle and then have two individuals to transport it. And so you can utilize that multiple, in
multiple ways?
Multiple ways, yes.
Yeah,
so I like that, the uniqueness of that, multiple ways to use that.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tarrant team.
I do have one question before you pack up. Do you know how much weight that would be able to bear?
As an estimate, I'd say on each side it could carry, yeah, as an estimate, it would carry the same jugs, just distributed evenly across the shoulders. So it would carry double, but have it as...
So, depending on the size of the jerry can, it could weigh up to 44 pounds when full. Is that the question?
So I'm thinking that instead of carrying one, each individual will be able to carry two, so you're making it more efficient, but also safer for the body. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Y'all did a great job. Thank you so much.
Great job, Tarrant team. All right, and last but certainly not least, in our 7th grade group, we will have our Lindsay team. So as Tarrant begins to put their project back, if our Lindsay team will go ahead and make your way up.
Yeah. If our young people, our young person can come back. I also just had this thought that you could also utilize that if you have a donkey, you can also design that to be placed where they carry multiple containers. So great design, man.
Okay. Hi, hello sharks. I'm Soraya, and this is.
My name is Sanaya.
And we are called the Army, and and we today have made an African rainforest village, and we would first like to tell you each individually which part and how it helps the village.
Here, these little houses, or huts as we would call them, can be made from anything from stone, wood, or clay. Like the color for them, which we have, can be made from flowers that I've learned can be ground up, that can be made into dye. So they can use it to paint and make any kind of African design they want upon the houses. Like also, we have 2 wells in the middle. We put them in the middle so it'll be easier for them to get fresh, clean water without having to go far out to go find water in different areas of where they live. Here we have 2 storage bins near a farm where they can grow any type of crops they please or what they want or anything they can find that they can grow. I've learned that in Mali they have used salt to preserve food. So that way they can just put it, or another way they can do it is they can dig underground and preserve it since it's cold. So it kind of works as their version of a refrigerator.
like how they get clean water. I've thought of a way of using recycled pipes or any type of metal from America that can be transported over here and that can be built underground. So it can also help reduce, since it's in a rainforest, water that comes. So flooding won't be a problem because the water will go into the river, but yet also help get rid of the water because the pipes to the wells that will be cleaned from a filter.
And one last thing, I added a little detail here. It's a flag. We didn't get to add a design on it yet. It's a flag to let like other villages from afar know that we are here and they won't try to take our land. Hopefully. Any question? Wait. Okay, you go.
Do you have any questions for us? Okay, so crops, we can have anything from like eggplant. So for the crops, you can have everything between like eggplant, potatoes, pumpkins, any type of crops they can find or seeds they can find in their area. Here, of course, we have the storage. The hot glue is represent as the salt that they've been used to preserve it. The wells. They have pipes underneath that can lead over to the wells, and it has filters in the pipes so the water can be clean and healthy for them to drink. It also can help reduce flooding from when it rains, because it's rainforest, of course. So they won't have any problem with overflooding from the river that's over here, because it'll be filtered out for clean water just for them.
And as for the latrines, if you wondering, the latrines are over here, so that way it wouldn't get to the village, they contaminate and make more diseases for them.
They're on the other side of the river?
Yes.
Once again, I'm just so astounded by the way your thought process into the design, especially when it comes to water mitigation, because as you know, with the climate changing, not just the U.S. but other countries are facing the challenge of flooding and so forth, and how you design the pipes to prevent the river from overflowing. It's just a unique design and engineering on your part. So just great job.
Thank you.
Like before, I'm interested in some of the work you did on the front end. So can you tell us a little bit about your research and how that impacted your particular decision making about your project?
Well, back when I used to be in elementary school, I've learned for the salt I was talking about it just really interested me. Like, I know in Africa they face a lot of problems, and sometimes it's kind of hard to brainstorm with balancing out money and how would it work in their climate change. So we really had to take our time with trying to figure out how we can find a way to get clean water, how they can preserve their food so they can so of course they can stay alive, no diseases, no bacteria in their food or any old rotting food, or no bacteria in the water that can possibly harm them and their children.
And from the very beginning, when I'm making this, at first she wasn't there with me, and I wanted to do a village. And my thought process, for me, at first I didn't do any research because it was just a thought in my head, and she helped me. And of course, Molly, the salt, it helps with the food. And for the flag, I thought it would be a nice touch. And also the color purple is their village color, because as you can see, the eggplants or groups, if you will, they sometimes mix it in with the mud, wood, clay, all that stuff for the village, because it's the village color. And I thought it was like a nice detail I should add. Oh, are there any more questions?
I don't think we have any further questions. Thank you. You did an excellent job.
Great job, ladies. All right, so that concludes all the groups for the 7th grade groups. And now we're going to move on to our 8th grade team. And we're going to start first with Tarrant.
Basi Kalumtu, I am Chamberlain Joshua,
Ukochukumitu. The name of this team is Mabwana Wawaiumba, which is Swahili for the Treehouse Masters.
Good afternoon, Shark Tank. My name is Andrea.
I'm Trinity. And I'm Radia.
I'm Tariq.
The name of this team is Mabwana Wana Umba, which is Swahili for the Treehouse Master. We chose the Habitat for Africa Challenge. As you can see in the pictures, the homes that Africans live in are reflective of where they live. Africans who live along the rivers of the central rainforest have to clear forests before they can build their homes. Thus, they build their homes close together. Their homes are made up of bamboo stalk, palm branches, and broad leaves because these are the materials that are readily available to them. A rainforest is an ecosystem distinguished by being warm and wet. To be considered a rainforest, annual rainfall in an area must be 75 inches at a minimum. Most rainforests in Africa get over 100 inches of rain every year.
Describe your project. Treehouses are becoming very popular in the U.S. So what better place to have a treehouse than a rainforest where there are plenty of trees? The treehouses we built are several feet off the ground so that when it rains, it won't flood the house. The people who live in the villages eat, sleep, and gather together on the floor. With the dry floors, the families can be nice and dry even as the rain is falling. Each treehouse has steps to access the front door, several windows to let in fresh air, and a rear emergency exit point. One tree house was built with a rope ladder at the rear of the house, and the other was built with a pole slide. The tree houses are made of flammable materials like dry bamboo and leaves. Having two exit points will give everyone in the house a chance to get out safely.
During the 5-month rainy season, November through March, many villages are not accessible by motorized vehicles. Of paved roads, flooding, and poor conditions prohibit distribution of food and other much-needed goods to the rainforest and rural areas. Therefore, we invented the aqua buggy. The aqua buggy is a multi-terrain vehicle that can be used on land, water, and mud. It brings supplies to flooded villages. The vehicle has a flat boat-like body with wheels that can be raised or lowered as needed. A large fan on the back of the vehicle propels it across water. The fan also generates and stores energy to power the vehicle on land.
How we made it. The tree houses are made around real tree branches with craft sticks, cardboard, and hot glue. Fake trees and moss were added to create the look of a real compound. We left one house open without a roof so that you can see inside and how comfortable a family would be living in one of our designs.
The aqua buggy is made with cardboard, craft sticks, drinking straws, duct tape, masking tape, and hot glue. First we made the fan blade with craft sticks, then we made a cage around the fan with drinking straws. Cardboard was used to make the body, the seats, and of course the cargo. The wheel axles are dowel rods. A couple of plastic gears were added so that the fan can be used and rotated when we demonstrate.
Comfortable housing and access to food and goods play a critical role in strong and stable communities no matter where you live. Comfortable housing and access to food and water are important for the health and safety for people. Comfortable housing can mean different things for different people based on many factors like environment, culture, traditions, availability of building materials, and etc. Since 1976, Habitat for Humanity in the U.S. has helped more than 22 million people build or improve the place they call home. In 2018 alone, they helped more than 8.7 million people. We would like to help just one small village at a time. So Sharks, we trust that you will consider our treehouse project as your next humanitarian effort. Asante.
Kuna maswali yoyoti, which in Swahili means, are there any questions?
may have missed it, but did you talk about what the aqua buggy would be made out of in Africa, the materials? Can you go over that again? Thank you.
The aqua buggy is made with cardboard, craft sticks, drinking straws, duct tape, masking tape, and hot glue.
No, what they would use in Africa to make that?
I'm guessing they would use bamboo, mud, basically regular day materials. I'm sorry. Any further questions?
Would you like to see the treehouse in the buggy?
This is cargo. Cargo, seats. The propeller will move basically off the stern.
Okay, sliding pole.
It's powered through the sun. This is when it's on. This is when it's underwater, and then you slip these under, and then it will be on land. Yes, ma'am. Basically, somebody will be on stumping on something and moving it with their feet, but it's also powered by the sun. And this will be moving, basically, when you're paddling with your feet. This moves, but you will also need sunlight outside, which in Africa they have a lot of sunlight. So. Ma'am, it will be. This is when it's underwater. It lets out. When it's on land, it goes back under.
Okay.
So these are the stuff that you guys are transporting?
Yes.
So they order some Amazon Prime stuff?
Yeah, they sure do. Come on out to the house.
But the ladder's back here. Yeah, you can pull up a rope ladder.
Kind of like a
Sorry to make you wait. We were jotting down some notes and maybe whispering amongst ourselves, but thank you. You did an excellent job. Thank you so much.
Great job, Tarrant. As they make their way back to their seats, we're going to go ahead and call the next group. It will be Lindsay. If you guys go ahead and make your way up to the table, grab your project.
Good afternoon, Sharks. My name is Samira Walker. My name is Yasmin.
My name's Ebony. My name's Josiah Sims.
And we are the Neo Village team, and we are looking for investors in our village design. It is a unique village, is suitable and affordable.
The Neo Village has a dwelling that are made from mud, bricks, and bamboo leaf roofs. The mud is from the riverbank and the bamboo is from the nearby forest to keep the villagers safe at night and cool during the day.
Our village also has a farm that includes corn, potatoes, and banana trees. We also have a barn and a barnyard that houses the animals day or night.
This keeps the animals safe from predators. Our goats and cows are used for milk, meat, and breeding.
We have a well right in the village so that our young villagers don't have to travel far to collect water for their family. The bathroom from the village is so that the waste doesn't not get the water does not get in the water source or spread diseases.
Sharks, would you consider investing in the future of rural Africa and make the Neo village a reality?
Would you point out the features of your village that you were describing on your paper?
Okay. This is the barn house with the fence. This is the well for them to drink. This is the forest that holds the bananas. This is their garden, and this is the bathroom far from the village, so it doesn't contaminate the river, their drinking source.
What in your research helped to guide you to move the bathroom away from the village?
Because they're in a one community and they all drink from one source. And if the bathroom is close to the water source that they drink from, then it's gonna contaminate it. So we put the bathroom far so that it doesn't contaminate the drinking water.
So what kind of some of the disease that you would, from a contaminated water, what are some of the diseases that people in Africa face? From your research? Diarrhea, E. coli, and stuff like that? Okay.
I don't think we have any other questions. Thank you for answering our questions, and you all did a great job. Thank you.
Great job, Lindsay team. And last but certainly not least, if our Sims team will begin to make your way to the table, don't forget to grab your project.
Hello, Shark Tank. My name is Dejanay Patterson, and our team name is the Pretty Girls.
Hi, my name is Narita, and our product's name is HydroTank.
We chose this to bring the water to the village challenge so they can have water to drink, cook, clean, and take a bath, and also to use the bathroom. Also for the mothers that have babies, they can make milk for their youngs. They need to bring this clean water to, they need this hydro tank to bring clean water to their homes. It's for any African American people to use it.
We made HydroTank out of a 2-liter bottle, string, hot glue, and we painted it blue. HydroTank can hold water. We painted it blue so you know that HydroTank has water in it. You can use HydroTank in many different ways. One way is holding it on your shoulder. The other, you can roll it. And the last but not least, you can just simply hold it in your hand. We decided to do this project after watching the video in class. We wanted to make things much easier and less harmful and painful. We realized that what they use can cause scoliosis or back pain. Using this means less bruises for women and children. Are there any questions?
Would you use the 2-liter bottle in Africa for that product? Is that what it would look like there?
You can if it's provided in there, but if it's not, you could use any small or big container for it.
So I think you demonstrated how it could be carried. So could it be carried across the body as well if the strap was long enough?
Yes, it can.
Okay, and what would you think that they would use in Africa as a strap?
They can use any type of strap as long as it's stretchable and durable so it won't break, snap, or turn into pieces. Any more questions?
You know, I'm always intrigued by designs and so forth, and this water container. And so this container, how do you go about filling that container? And then I'm going to have a follow-up question to that also.
Okay. You can just open it up,
Mm-hmm.
and then you dip it into the water, and then you wait till it fills up fully, or depending on how much you really need. And then after that, you just put it back. You close the top, close it, and then you will go about your business and just,
Okay, so my follow-up question, if we have an issue with dirty water, contaminated water, and you're utilizing this container, how do you go about using this container to filter the water that you get from the river or the well or wherever?
We will put a filtration inside the bottle, so we
Okay.
can have it fresh and clean for everybody in Africa.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I tried to lead you, but you need to explain that. That's great. Yeah.
Are there any more questions?
Thank you so much for your thinking.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Great job, Sims ladies. All right, if we could give all of our participants a round of applause, as well as our Shark Tank teachers, Ms. Lassiter, Mr. Dudley, and Mr. Dunn. They worked really hard with their students on these projects. And a special shout out to Mr. Chamberlain, who got up and introduced all of his peers in Swahili. So we're going to take a few moments just to let the judges finish up and tally up, and then we'll be back with our winners shortly.
Hello. First of all, I want to give let's give a big applause to all of our contestants in the Shark Tank. I have to say that I was so thoroughly impressed with people bringing background knowledge. The fact that some of you brought up things that you learned in 3rd grade. Some of you even brought in designs that we did last year in Shark Tank with the water filtration system. That was just amazing. And you guys are building on those skills. And you're really showing the world what Hampton City Schools has to offer. And we are just so delighted. I was back there and I was just spellbound by just what you did and you accomplished. In 3rd place, in 6th grade, we have Lindsay Dominators with the Water Challenge. Congratulations. Please stand up and where are you? The Lindsay Dominators. Well, you come up, we'll shake your hands, we'll have certificates for you, okay? Here we go. Thank you so much. Good job, guys. So just come stand right over here so everyone can see. Thank you. In 2nd place, we have Sims with CK Housing with their Habitat Challenge. Great job. Oops, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good job, thanks. And our 1st place winner in 6th grade is Tarrant with the Flow Riders with the with the water challenge. Great job, Tarrant. And our first place winners will each be going home with their own trophy. So great job. And I also have a trophy for our first place tank winner. And Miss Lassiter, this is for you. Good job. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, sweetie. Now, let's give them another round of applause. Good job. Great job, everyone. Go ahead and have a seat. Fantastic. Now, let's get ready for 7th grade. In 3rd place, we have the Sims Make Me with their Habitat Challenge. Come on up, sweetie. Good job. Good job, sweetie. Thank you. In 2nd place, we have Tarrant with the Water Toters and the Water Challenge. Good job. Good job. Good job. Thank you so much. And in 1st place, we have Lindsay with the team Kiss to the Armies and their Habitat Challenge. Great job. Good job. And Mr. Dudley, congratulations. He's a newbie to the tank, so great job. Great job. Now for our 8th grade and 3rd, thank you guys. Let's give them a big round of applause. Good job. I also want to take a moment to let you know that there were other challenges, design challenges that were made, and the ones who made it to the tank were the best ones in their grade level. So all students created a project, and we're just highlighting the best of the best. Now, for 8th grade, in 3rd place, we have Lindsay with the New Village team and their Habitat Challenge. Good job, guys. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Next, we have, in 2nd place, Sims with Pretty Girls and the Water Challenge. Thank you. Good job. And in 1st place, we have Tarrant with the Treehouse Masters and the Habitat Challenge. And Miss Lassiter. Great job. If you go over here, you'll receive your trophies. Good job. You're welcome. Good job. Great job. Miss Lassiter. Great job. And I have to give a special shout out because in Shark Tanks, it does take a village. I want to thank all of the coordinators. I want to thank every single assistant that came into the classroom. Unlike the other programs in our STREAM program, Shark Tank takes place every day. And it does, literally, we embrace the fact that we are HCS. We incorporated and worked together in the finest moments. And as you can see, look what we produced. So that concludes our Shark Tank Challenge. Thank you. We have refreshments.